A residual does not feel fear. I step into my drop coffin. A dull-minded unit seals the door. Mechanical locks engage behind me, each impact reverberating through the chamber. Restraints tighten. Pads secure my shoulders, pin my arms, cradle my skull. A dim screen flickers to life, projecting my descent trajectory. Beyond my small viewport, there is nothing. Severance approaches. A residual does not feel remorse. Prepare for planetside insertion, K-227, our commander says. His voice resonates through my coffin. The words linger, sourceless, drifting through distorted moments. Time behaves unpredictably beyond three-dimensional space. A latch clicks. The sound blooms unnaturally in the confinement. I exhale. Breath fogs the glass. The coffin does not permit movement. Only 60% survive severance. But we are residuals. No one speaks as our probabilities are surrendered to the machines. A residual does not feel awe. Entering physical space, a smooth voice announces, an ascendant. The blackness beyond the glass shimmers. Light disturbs the void, rippling across nothingness like a distant sunrise bleeding over a motionless sea. The radiance contracts, collapsing inward, concentrating into a singular, blinding glare. I close my eyes. Tears escape anyway. There is no refuge from the light. Then, absence. Darkness reasserts itself. The perpendicularity has emerged into regular space, the Ascendant says. If we materialized planetside, the spatial distortion would be detectable. Tracking immediate. Severance is the only way. A residual does not want, does not hate, does not love. The Ascendants repeat this with absolute certainty. Then why are we hunting one of our own? What variable has R441 violated? What flaw has emerged in us? BR019. Confirm launch, the Ascendant says. Affirmative. Silence follows as each residual is questioned, in turn on individual channels. Initiate severance, K-227, confirms. Weightlessness overtakes me before cognition resolves the transition. The restraints tighten reflexively. Darkness fractures beyond the viewport, formless, glittering with innumerable stars. There is no down in space. The planet rushes up to meet me all the same. It appears at the edge of my viewport. The sun ignites its horizon crimson, a curved, blood-colored blade against the void. The surface below remains shrouded in darkness. Fire erupts beyond the glass. My screen flashes a warning. Entering upper atmosphere. The coffin convulses. My vision constricts. Stars scatter across my perception, no longer distant, no longer serene, but refracting through violent atmospheric fire. The screen pulses red. Peripheral cognition barely registers the signal. Losses incurred. Which units failed insertion? I remain silent. No one speaks during severance. We are residuals. The drop coffins decide. The screen flashes blue. Touchdown imminent. The coffin's boosters ignite beneath me. Instability multiplies. My hands seize the restraints. The motion is automatic, ineffective. The convulsions persist. The metal floor radiates dull red. Thermal intrusion breaches my exosuit's shielding. Heat permeates upward. Motor reflexes demand correction. Lift feet. Reduce contact. I can't. The restraints. I grind my teeth. Respiration destabilizes. Inhale, exhale. Rhythm collapses. Critical system failure probability escalates. Has the drop coffin revised my survival outcome? A liquid anomaly floods my eyes, traces my cheeks. Processing stalls. I am not ready. The coffin impacts with catastrophic force, a violent collision punctuated by a sharp structural crack. Restraints disengage. The door ejects outward. I dive after the opening, scrambling free of my drop coffin. The planetary surface receives me without concession. Impact reverberates through my exosuit. Microscopic debris grinds against the padding. The liquid anomaly persists, a slow, cooling trail along my cheeks. Motor reflexes initiate correction. My hand rises toward my face. It hits my helmet instead. I blink, sealing the disturbance before further residue escapes. The mission remains primary. I turn toward the drop coffin. Its lower structure has collapsed inward, crumpled, and driven deep into the planetary surface. My chamber remains intact. I reach inside. A sealed compartment disengages beneath my touch. The Duracloak emerges first, resistant to directed energy and housing adaptive cloaking systems. I secure it across my shoulders. My holster follows. Last weapon, blade. Functional. Sufficient. I fasten the rig at my waist. Last, I retrieve my vector rifle. The weapon's black alloy frame aligns along my back, the harness crossing from shoulder to hip. Its weight registers as negligible. Its presence, absolute. A small circular chip rests within the compartment, no larger than a fingertip. I extract it and seat it into the rear interface of my helmet. A click. Systems synchronize. The signal confirms my survival to the squadron. K-227 has already established a rendezvous designation. The responsibility would have transferred to me, second in command, had his coffin failed insertion. 9 signals populate my HUD. Only 3 of 12 units lost during severance. Statistical deviation favorable. The route resolves in red across my vision. I advance. The sky above remains shrouded in darkness. Somewhere in the abyss, the Perpendicularity waits, the Ascendants observing. The sun will rise in 4 standard hours. A timer ticks down within my display. 3 hours to complete the mission. 3 hours to eliminate R-441. The surface beneath my boots answers with muted thuds. Sand, fused by relentless solar exposure, transformed into hardened glass. Heat bleeds upward. Our exosuits will not withstand the next solar cycle. An irrelevant variable. We will no longer be planet-side, the mission fulfilled. The red path streams beneath me, its edges smearing across my vision. Darkness consumes all else. Along the distant horizon, jagged silhouettes rupture the skyline. A serrated row of teeth, glass-carved mountains. Designation R-441 appears across my HUD. 40 hours earlier, she fled the Perpendicularity. Purpose, unknown. Speculation, irrelevant. The footage plays. She moves, dives, disappears behind a supply crate. Lost fire erupts overhead, momentary bursts of violent illumination. I fail to predict her next movement. She abandons cover, accelerates into the open hangar. No suppressive fire. No defensive correction. A directed energy strike intersects her leg. Structural failure follows. The limb collapses. She destabilizes, stumbles, rolls, vanishes behind the nearest dropship. Why relinquish tactical superiority? What governing directive overrides survival logic? No, speculation is irrelevant. I continue studying the recording. I ascend a minor incline. The route terminates at its crest. Movement registers within the surrounding shadows. Designation? A cold voice demands. A vector rifle hums, servo mechanisms cycling into readiness. BR-019, I respond. The weapon lowers. Bruno, K-227, says, "My call sign." Kier, I return his. Call signs outperform designations in combat environments. Reduced syllabic load. Accelerated response efficiency. The Ascendants don't use them. He emerges from beneath the ledge. His black and gray exosuit absorbs the darkness, broken only by twin silver stripes at each shoulder, marking him mission commander. His posture remains perfectly stable. More forms resolve from the darkness, figures emerging as duracloaks retract. Squadron integrity confirmed. 9 units present. My helmet vibrates. A new route populates my display. R-441 entered a subterranean structure, 2 clicks east. Kier states. Reason unknown. Karathi facility. Another voice registers. Jax. I incline my head. Dull-minded human labor assets likely present. Additional variables. Kier continues. Dull-minded responses to loss fire remain statistically unstable. A hollow display of the facility floods my vision. Insertion point designated here. Kier points. A maintenance hatch on the surface ignites within my HUD. Avoid Karathi checkpoints. Locate and eliminate R-441 on site. Recover the body. Extract to the perpendicularity. The directives settle. Simple. We descend the incline in silence. Communication unnecessary. I engage the duracloak. My form dissolves from visible space, reduced to a faint distortion beneath the moonlight. The timer continues its descent. 1.5 hours remain. The terrain extends without variation. A seamless plane of fused glass, broken by jagged mountains on the horizon. We advance at regulated pace. No acceleration, no urgency. Kier maintains position at my left flank. His stride remains perfectly measured. No wasted motion. No excess respiration. Command presence without assertion. I adhere to the route. Ruth's combat recording persists within my visor. She neutralizes 2 ascendants with precise efficiency. Controlled, calculated, then deviation. Her engagement patterns destabilize. She abandons cover. Tactical superiority relinquished. She accelerates into open terrain. Sustains impact. Prediction failure. Why? I replay the sequence. Again. No coherent behavioral pattern emerges. No training logic. My gaze tracks a rogue directed energy discharge across the hangar. Impact. A dull-minded labor unit collapses. R-441 reacts immediately. Crates abandoned. Sprint initiated. Processing stalls. Is there a correlation? A hand seizes me. My trajectory collapses. I impact the glass surface. Structural shock propagates across my body. The environment ignites. Blinding white radiance diffuses across the terrain. Reflections multiply without mercy. Visual processing saturates. Ship engines thunder overhead. Prediction failure. I have made an error. I turn my head. Kier's hand is on my shoulder. His eyes watching me. His gaze lingers. Recognition. He has detected my deviation. The light passes. The ship continues on its course toward our target. Did anyone classify that vessel? Kier stands. Korathi hunters. Dren reports from the darkness behind me. Muscular contractions ripple across my frame. Perspiration forms along my brow. Processing instability detected. They've discovered Ruth, I say. Silence. Every helmet pivots toward me. My throat constricts. A second error. I referred to designation R-441 by her call sign. Ruth. Kier speaks. Your drop coffin experienced a critical systems malfunction during severance. His tone does not rise. You have incurred 2 cognitive deviations. A fractional pause. You are compromised. Kade. Relieve Bruno of command authority. The shimmering figure inclines his head. Compliance immediate. Primary objective remains unchanged, Kier states. Terminate R-441. Engage the hunters only if required. Directive acknowledged. I remain silent as formation integrity reasserts itself. My position shifts. Rearward. Kier's assessment is accurate. 2 cognitive deviations incurred. Outcome unacceptable. A heated constriction forms at the back of my throat. Cognitive interference follows. A dense pressure settling across my thoughts. Heavy, inescapable. The disturbance persists as we approach the target. It does not dissipate. It grows. A dim refraction ripples across the glass. Jax's signal. Mira moves first, her route illuminated in red. Jax has cleared it of pressure triggers. She lowers to hands and knees and advances toward the maintenance hatch. Rowan follows. Then Vale, Soren, Dren, Cade. Kier positions himself behind me. I do not turn. Jax signals again. I advance. The glass offers no resistance as I glide across its surface, conforming with the route. A faint pressure node registers to my right. Avoided. I reach the hatch and settle into position beside the others. Kier arrives last. His helmet inclines. Assessment complete. A minuscule shift toward Dren. The cloaked residual withdraws a cylindrical device from his belt, no longer than a finger segment. He anchors it to the metal rim and presses the activation stud. A muted vibration follows. Detection systems within the shaft deactivate. Kier gestures to Soren. 4 compact spheres emerge from his belt. He positions one at each corner of the hatch. Kade secures the center. The devices engage. A concentrated surge of directed energy traces the perimeter. Cade lifts the severed metal free without sound. The subterranean entry yawns open. A ladder descends into the shaft. Dim fluorescent strips hum along the walls. A grated metal floor waits 20 feet below. We descend individually. My boots contact the grated floor without resonance. Kier lands behind me. The maintenance corridor swallows us. Machinery hums behind the walls. Overhead lights disengaged. No hostile signatures detected. Rowan, Vale, Soren, processing sector. Kier's voice remains level. The 3 divert left. Kade, Mira, Dren, administration. Helmets incline. A pause. Jax, Bruno. With me, labor quarters. The tunnel narrows. The hum deepens, lower frequency. I amplify contrast within my HUD. Edges sharpen. Depth resolves. A sequence of soft clicks confirms the others have done the same. The tunnel divides. Kier, Jax and I pivot right. The others disappear left. Labor quarters ahead. The blast doors stand open. No exchange required as we breach the threshold. The Korathi do not neglect containment protocols. R-441 is present. Overhead lights remain offline. Human labor units lie dormant in narrow bunks along the walls. Acceptable. Fewer variables. We move between rows. The corridor forks. Kier pivots left. I take the right. Jax secures the entry point. Pop. I freeze. Pop, pop. Last fire. Distant. The lights flare. A trap. White saturation floods the corridor. Last fire ignites the air around me. Visual processing overload. Contrast collapse. My eyes sting with liquid residue. Ocular irritation registers. I flatten against the wall. The vector rifle releases from its harness beneath my touch. I know the weapon's geometry without sight. The frame vibrates as power cycles through its core. HUD recalibration initiated. Contrast suppression engaged. The battlefield resolves. The hallway yawns between Kier and me. He braces against the opposite wall. His vector rifle answers with a low, steady rumble. Jax has dragged himself between 2 bunks. His exosuit is scorched black where last fire struck. Survival probability near 0. His chest rises unevenly, falls, rises again. His hands tremble as they search across burned armor, as though the damage might retreat beneath his touch. He knows. He will die. He is not ready. I am not ready. Were the others ready? The residuals inside their drop coffins, did they know? Kier's voice cuts through the corridor, distant, distorted. It pulls me back. I spin around the corner, vector rifle leveled. 5 Korathi advance, tall, scaled, formidable. They shriek in guttural bursts, rows of serrated teeth bared. Yellow, slit-pupiled eyes lock onto mine. Green-scaled claws secure las weapons. Their armor may disperse lost fire. It will not withstand a vector rifle. I fire. The lead Karathi's neck ruptures. Yellow blood atomizes against the corridor walls. Kier fires once. A Karathi's sternum caves inward with concussive force. The second round leaves his rifle before the first body strikes the floor. The next hunter's throat ruptures mid-snarl. He does not adjust, stands. He does not shift footing. 2 targets, 2 executions. Efficient. Lost fire scorches the wall beside me. Shrapnel ricochets across my visor. I withdraw, back against the wall. And then, I see her. A directed energy discharge has ruptured the door console. The doorway stands open. Ruth crouches inside. Her helmet lies discarded, cracked by lost fire. Brown hair frames her face, brushing her jaw. Impractical in combat. Her eyes find mine. Blue, unshielded. No visor, no filter. No data stream mediating the signal. The expression there resists classification. It presses against me, wide, intent, not tactical. My vector rifle remains aligned with her center mass. The targeting reticle stabilizes over her sternum. A fractional increase in pressure is all that is required. My finger does not move. A smaller shape shifts behind her. A young, dull-minded girl steps partially into view. But she does not move like a labor asset. She chooses her position. Her eyes are wide, not pleading like Ruth's. They are afraid, unshielded, unfiltered. Her body trembles as though the air itself has turned hostile. The posture is identical to Jax's when he understood death was certain. It mirrors my own, inside the drop coffin. When the restraints tightened, and the heat climbed, and the machines calculated my extinction, my pulse accelerates, the reticle wavers. What is this variable? I tear my gaze from her and reacquire the battle. Jax lies motionless in the doorway. No respiration detected. 2 Karathi remain. I fire. The nearer one's hip disintegrates. Bone and blood rupture through armor. Kier's shot obliterates its skull. His second round strikes the final hunter in the sternum. The impact folds it backward. It collapses without sound. Green-scaled bodies and yellow blood stain the corridor floor. The dull-minded humans remain in their bunks, vacant, unknowing. I seize my breath and force it into a pattern. My pulse hammers against my ribs. My arms tremor. The vector rifle wavers in my grasp. What is this? There, Kier fires. His first round scorches the wall. Ruth moves. She runs, dragging the girl beside her, both clad in exosuits. Her helmet is gone, replaced by a laborer's visor, transparent, fragile. Kier pauses, fires again. The shot clips her left calf. Tissue ruptures. Blood sprays across the grated floor. Her leg falters, buckles. She stays upright. They turn the corner. Gone. Kier is already moving. He glances at me, a fraction too long. Bruno, with me. He turns and advances down the corridor. I push upright. My legs respond unevenly. I follow. Karathi bodies are strewn across the facility. And residuals. Dren slumps in a doorway, helmet collapsed inward. Mira lies face down across a shattered console in administration. No movement. No time to confirm. Ruth has already exited the facility. Kier reaches the maintenance ladder and ascends without pause. I climb after him. My footing slips. I recover. I struggle to keep pace. I emerge into a transformed landscape. Wind shears across the glass plane, lifting shards that skitter and hiss along the surface. The sky burns dark violet, bleeding toward blue. The distant glass mountains ignite, refracting light into impossible spectrums. 5 minutes until sunrise. The countdown persists in the corner of my vision. Kier is positioned 20 meters ahead of me. Ruth stands between him and the child, 60 meters ahead. His vector rifle locks onto her center mass. The targeting reticle stabilizes. He fires. The round fractures the glass at her feet. He recalibrates. Fires again. The second shot scorches past her left flank. He will not miss a third time. Even at this distance, I see Ruth's eyes. That expression, the one we are trained to excise. I adjust my vector rifle. We suppress it. We call it instability. We call it malfunction. It persists. I realign my aim. It is in vain we try to repress it. Kier's stance shifts. Not enough for me to miss. Enough to matter. I fire. The rear of Kier's helmet ruptures outward. His body folds. He collapses into the glass. The perpendicularity watches from somewhere beyond the sky. Sunlight descends the glass mountains, spilling down their faces and advancing across the plain toward us. A residual does not experience emotion. That is what we are told. And yet, here we stand. Ruined. Human.